Hello, this is Matthew Struck with Treadstone Risk Management, and today I'm going to be showing you through a free learning management system and training platform that we are able to offer in conjunction with Zywave and our HR360 portal. This is a complimentary service and resource that we're making available to our clients as well as our contacts, and I think you can see a lot of value in this. Before we can get you started in the portal, we have to get you some login credentials. So if you head on over to the Treadstone Risk Management homepage at treadstonerisk.com, you can see this clickable link at the top entitled Training360. Clicking that link brings you through to this page. If you notice at the top, if you already have credentials that are assigned by Treadstone, you can simply go through to the system and use those credentials. If you don't have login information just yet, we would ask that you fill in the form on the right-hand side and click the Request Access button at the bottom. Once you request access, one of our team members will be able to set you up with credentials and email those to you directly. Once you receive them, you can head over to the hr360.com homepage. You're going to click on the login button at the top right-hand corner and use your login and password to get into the dashboard. This dashboard is what you'll see as an employer. I would suggest that any of you out there that have an organization with multiple employees that you're going to be giving access to this system, use only one administrator to sign up through that login page, and that way one individual is coordinating the employees that are signed up as well as the courses that are assigned to them. Once you get to the dashboard, I would suggest that the first step that you take is to come over to the My Account button up here in the top right-hand corner. Make sure that all of the information is updated. You can also update your password right here, as well as your contact information and your mailing information, and just click Update at the bottom. Coming back to the dashboard, the next thing I'll call your attention to is the Training Academy on the left-hand side. Clicking that option on the menu brings you to this page where you have an opportunity to sign up for a live training for this portal. They'll cover a lot of the things that we're covering in this video today, but with a live trainer. You also have the option to view one of those previous live trainings here as a standalone video. So I would suggest doing either one of those or maybe even both in order to familiarize yourself with the platform. Now that you've gone through the training, I would suggest that you click the courses option on the left-hand side, and this will be the main listing for all of the courses that will be available to you and your employees to take. First thing I'll call your attention to is this arrow at the right-hand side of each one of the courses. This gives you a breakout on the details, what's covered in the course, the duration or the time that the video takes to complete, as well as a preview for you to be able to view the training for yourself before you end up assigning it out. The entire course listing is searchable either by keyword or by topic, so you can put that in here in order to search through. The other option that you have is based off of the audience that might be taking the course. So whether it's rank and file employees, HR management or HR resource personnel, managers and supervisors, and then also if you have both English and Spanish speaking employees, you can view a listing of those courses based off of the language that they're available in. Coming back out to the dashboard, now you're ready to add employees and assign training to those employees. So clicking on the Add Employees option on the menu, you're now given two ways that you can add employees. If you only have a few employees, you can do them individually using the option on the right. If you have an extensive list of employees that you're going to be adding into the system, I would suggest you do it in a list format. Zywave gives you a downloadable template for Excel that has all of the appropriate columns that you'll have to fill in for each one of those employees. Fill that information in, save it to your computer, and then that's the file that you're going to point to when it says Select File here on the left-hand side. A note that when you first upload your listing of employees, you will be given the option to automatically assign them training when you do that. If you already know the training that you want to assign them, that's all well and good. If you don't, you can simply bypass that step and do it manually afterward. So now that you've uploaded your list of employees that you're going to want to assign training to, there's two ways to assign training, and there's only one way to remove training, and that might be if you incorrectly assign a training module to an employee, or if the role of the employee changes and now you have to remove certain training and add others. So the first way I'm going to share with you to do that, if you click on the Manage Employees tab here on the left, it's going to bring you to a screen like this that outlines all of the employees that you've uploaded to the system. You can click any one of the employees, or you can also click multiple employees to take an action on an individual employee or a group of them. Once you click this drop down for select action, you have a couple of options. The first action that you can take is to change the expiration date. It defaults to essentially an indefinite expiration date, meaning that the employee will have access to the platform indefinitely. If you have short-term employees, temporary employees that you're giving access and you know that they won't need it beyond a certain date, you can change that for those employees. If they are full-time employees, I would highly suggest just sticking with the default indefinite expiration. You also have the ability to toggle in between active and inactive. So if you have employees that end up moving on from your organization, you can inactivate them so that they no longer have access to the portal. You can also reactivate them if they are maybe temporary employees that come and go but do not need active access to the portal at all times. The last option you have is assign courses, which is what we're going to select, and we're going to click Go. Now, I'm set up as an administrator on the system, so it's going to give me a message that says I've already been assigned all of the appropriate training. Any one of your employees that hasn't been assigned any training or all of the training, you're going to be given a column on the left-hand side that allows you to select the individual courses. It'll then pass over to the right-hand column and give you a listing of those courses that you're assigning, and then you're just going to click Assign Courses to those employees. Now, of note, once you add the employees as users in the system, they'll get an automated email that will give them the login information to access the portal. What they won't get is automated emails when you add or remove training modules. So you'll have to remember when you do update those employees' training programs that you should send them an email as a reminder that they have new or removed training that's been given or taken away from them. I will show you how to do that now in the LMS system. So on the left-hand side, if you click on the Login to LMS tab, it's going to bring you to this portal here. There is a lot that can be done here. Speaking of emailing users, you can email those users individually by clicking on this button here. And there's also an option to create groups. And those groups can be one global group for all of your employees, or you can also break it down by job function, department, or any other identifier that would allow you to better segment those, your full listing of employees into individuals that have certain training needs. Looking at the individual users, on the bottom you have the option for assigning them to different groups, and I believe you can also do multiple groups if someone has multiple roles or functions within the organization. You can also click on courses. This shows you all of the courses that have been assigned to that employee. If you would like to change that, you click on the Edit Course link. It gives you the identifying information for the employee that you can update, but then you can also come down here and see a listing of all of the courses that are available or have been assigned. If they've already been assigned, they'll be checked off. If they haven't, they'll have a missing check in the box. To add or remove training, you're simply going to click or unclick the box, and if you notice, as I do so, it updates here on the right. Of note, you're going to have to make sure to click to save information on these employees if you're adding or removing training this way. Otherwise, those updates will not happen to their employee record or show up in their portal when they log in. You also have the option to click quizzes or surveys that have been individually assigned to those employees. Of note, on the groups section, you can add and remove groups, again, to segment those individuals that may be part of a department or another group. Also, within this portal, you can pull up the training reports for individuals and groups. And so you have two options. You can look at the pending training that hasn't been completed but was assigned, and then you can also look at the completed modules that were assigned and completed by the individual employees or members of that group. What I'm going to show you finally here is just a basic listing of the subjects. There are 199 training modules within the system currently as of the date of this video recording. They're broken down into different subject matter: construction safety training, cybersecurity training, general employee decorum ethics training. There's HIPAA security and HIPAA information training. There's also OSHA approved and POSHA approved compliance training. So any of your employees that have required safety training, they can satisfy that requirement by taking these modules and completing them. You have sexual harassment training, supervisor and manager training, and general workplace safety training. So this course guide just is an overview of all of those trainings within that course tab that you can go and look through and see the previews of all of those training videos so that you get an idea of what's available within the system. We're really excited for this collaboration, and we're really excited to make this available to you. We hope that you get a lot of value out of it, and that this brings a high return to you, especially in that it is a complimentary access. So please make as much use of this as you possibly can in order to train and keep your workforce safe and help them avoid accidents or avoid claims that might result from some of the subjects that these courses are targeted toward. So we thank you very much. Again, I'm Matthew Struck with Treadstone Risk Management. We're going to be providing some links to the appropriate pages below in the comments and the notes to this video, and we're looking forward to helping you out on some more of these initiatives. Thank you very much for joining us.